Hey guys, welcome to Sell Me a Movie, a subcategory here on the Cavalier Studios YouTube channel, where I go ahead and discuss, as a movie enthusiast, my personal opinions on movies that I've seen out in theaters, streaming, or ones that you guys recommend specifically. Now today we will be going over a Sony, yet kind of made into PC exclusive, video game made into a movie, Until Dawn.
Hello there, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and children.
Now, Until Dawn was actually directed by David S. Sandberg, who's done films like Lights Out, which is a horror film, both Shazam movies, and Annabelle Creation. It was written by Blair Butler, who's done either indie horror or kind of on the border of indie horror line, like Polaroid and Hellfest. She's done a lot of video games and worked with games in general, so, I mean, credit is where credit's due. Great addition, I feel, to the creation of this film. We also have Gary Dauberman, which is yet another known horror writer if you are familiar with Annabelle Comes Home, 2017's It, 2024's Salem's Lot, which Salem's Lot, it was an okay film. I enjoyed it. I know I've heard a lot of things that people didn't like it, but I mean, it was okay. And then, of course, he's also done The Nun. Now, the film stars Ella Rubin as Clover, and other than Honora, which she plays a supporting character in, she doesn't have a lot of known film credit, to be honest. You do have Michael Cimino playing the ex-boyfriend Max. He's also done films like played Victor in Love, Victor. Now, I'm only going to pronounce the first name because I can't pronounce the last bit there, but Odessa, she's playing Nina. She was Riley, though, in 2022's Hulu's exclusive Hellraiser. Ji Young Yo, who stars as the psychic of the friends Megan. She's really only starred in films, but not really known ones like 2024 Freaky Tales. I do know that that film does have Pedro Pascal, but I don't remember it being advertised that often. You do have Belmont Cameli as Abe. Again, not really anything that's known that he's came out with. But I will say this, if you are a Disney Teen Beach fan, you will like to know that Maya Mitchell is in the film where she plays Melanie. I guess she plays Mackenzie in Teen Beach 2. And then, of course, finally, you have Peter Stormare, who you'll know from the 96 film Fargo and 2005 Constantine as he plays Satan. It's very on the last bit, I believe. If I remember the film correctly, at the very end, you do get to see him as Constantine's kind of laying on a hospital floor, basically dying. Now, like I said, this film is based on the Sony PlayStation and eventually PC exclusive Until Dawn. It was originally released on the PS4 in 2015 and then remastered for the PS5 and Windows in 2024. The biggest difference regarding characters, honestly, is that the video game stars Rami Malek and Hayden Panettiere, both as Josh Washington and Sam Giddings. Both of those, though, are not in the film. I've never played the game, but by looking up a little information that I did, I can see where there are slight differences between the film and game itself. Both follow the narrative of miners in a way, as well as city, but the basic plot is completely different. Now, for those who's played the game, please let me know down on the comments on if I'm wrong or not. However, by the end of the film, it does set up a sequel that looks more like the location where the game does take place. So maybe this is a semi-prequel? Don't really know. What I do know is that we follow Clover to a town where her friend's trying to find her sister Melanie, who's disappeared a year and a half ago or so. They stumble upon a welcome center where they're now basically in kind of like a time dimension a little bit. It's in between time where creatures between like a psycho with an axe, a witch, a wendigo try and kill all of them. Each time they die, though, the timer starts right back over, which is more of a sand dial that flips over, and then they have to face the situations over again. However, the biggest difference is the fact that each situation may be facing the same killers, but the setup and everything else is completely different. Overall, this element to the film makes it fresh in a way, with every kill doesn't feel sloppy or repeated over and over again. And like I said, overall, though, this film is extremely fun to watch. It reminded me a little bit about Cabin in the Woods. Of course, that starred Chris Hemsworth with the setup, but at the same time, it brought its own flair. As I was sitting and watching the film, though, I felt like I was transported to the feeling of it being Halloween time. And how much I loved knowing this Mainly because this film would be a great yearly Halloween movie to watch, in my opinion. The deaths are unique and doesn't make the film feel bland, like I said, and it's because it's based on the setups and how it's done. I will say though, by the middle or close to the end, I've heard negative things about it. Except for me, I had a real fun time from beginning to end. I do know with everybody who was complaining about it, it was either it kind of slowed down a little bit or added elements where it kind of dragged the story along. To me, like I said, I had fun regardless if I played the game or not from beginning to end. I would highly recommend watching this film too, whether if it's out on streaming or in the theaters. And if you do love the movie and if you've played the game, please let me know. I would love to hear your guys' opinion about it. So leave your comments down below, subscribe to the channel, make sure that you follow us on all social platforms, and we'll see you guys next time for the next review.